Hello everyone. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face, card making space. And yeah, the gremlins and potentially the poltergeist have been contained for a moment.
We called the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we called Ghostbusters. I wish we could have called the Ghostbusters. Honestly, if it's not one thing, it's another. Although, see, I told you that yesterday because you made a comment about like, oh, the camera's been working, so don't jinx it.
Never jinx.
You know, just like we don't talk about Fight Club, we don't talk about the tech issues. I'm trying to learn that lesson because once you say it, you know, literally everything. Even right before I was going to go on the new this time, you know, I'm an hour late. I had to like figure things out in software. Anyway, hello to you all. I appreciate those that were waiting. Apologies. Normally, I stick with the schedule, 2 p.m. Central on Sundays. But yeah, today was just one of those days. One of those days. So, we're going to make it work. We're going to have one. Yeah, this is the official one. I apologies. I literally made things like as confusing as possible. I like set up a whole second live stream. Deleted it. I deleted it. We're just doing it, okay? We're just doing it. I'm only in one place. No matter what. I haven't figured out how to clone myself yet. Still hoping, but you know. Yeah, we won't jinx it. We won't put it out in the universe. We're just gonna make something. As I do have a rough idea in my head. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens while I'm just chatting with everyone here for the first little bit. A little heads up about there's a sale code in the description box below the video. Yesterday, Tim Holtz went live sharing just random inspo. Like, it's always worth checking out. So many ideas. I need to go get like disco eggs and actually pull out my alcohol inks. You know, like those sorts of things. So anyway, while he was live though, Simon Says Stamp, who carries like all his products, set up a 20% off code on all Tim Holtz products. And I'm pretty sure that code still works. Someone can let me know, but I think it was going to run until like at least tonight. So yeah, that's because I am going to use a few Tim Holtz products, you know. So if there's things you were eyeing up, snag yourself 20% off, man, because sweet deal. So, because yeah, I'm going to use some Tim Holtz stuff. I'm going to use the ultimate oldie but goodie favorite. We're going to combine some stuff. We need to do a background first because I want to use some paste too. Let's, you know what? It's hard to explain the thought process when I haven't even fully fleshed out. I've got some distressed watercolor paper here. And we're gonna get inky and yeah, see you guys, those that were watching yesterday, the disco eggs, all of it. So many ideas. Like so many ideas. It was so fun. I was playing along in the chat and just ideas. And in the chat, because it got brought up and people were asking, and so that's what I plan on using today is, let me put him on his packaging so I can actually show it properly. The Tim Holtz Mr. Rabbit stamp set. Slight caveat, the stamp set is like in stock. It's available as of before me going live. The coordinating die set is not. Apologies. I know that Simon Says Stamp, like they do, and I have it linked below. They've done several coordinating die sets for the Tim Holtz stamp sets. And I linked to that category. People can check it out. They don't have them for every single set. I do know that if there's enough requests for other sets, that they will probably try and make up die sets for it. And Yeah, the die sets are exclusive to Simon Says Stamp. Obviously, the Tim Holtz stuff, whoever carries Tim Holtz, you know, will have it. And yeah, I am going to use the die set because I want to do a little bit of paper piecing. And what else? I think that's it for any sort of anything. And then my other disclaimer, just because I follow the rules, my links are affiliate links. When it comes to affiliate links, all that means is when you click on one of my links for random supplies, what the intern puts in the chat, etc., etc., it's a little tracking cookie. And then if you end up ordering, like placing an order, I get a little kickback from that. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no hidden fees or anything malicious. And that's what helps pay the bills and all the things. So, did you find your watercolor paper you were looking for? No. I don't know. I don't.
It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
It's not even a needle in a haystack. I do. I'll have things in my hands and I black out. That's all I can explain. It's like I will just be, because you're mindlessly putting things away. I'll be mindlessly doing something, And I know that's what I was doing with that bloody watercolor paper, and I haven't found it. I was joking about this yesterday in the video I posted yesterday. I'm not even exaggerating. I spent an hour looking for a specific die set. Like, I was ripping apart this office because I knew I had it. I was like all over the place, pulling things out. The entire time, it was sitting on my desk underneath the other die set. Because I stored it where it belonged. Anyway, just chaos. Chaos. So yeah, it's a mom thing. Kind of. I have 5 million things going on, and yeah, I'll just be wandering around with something in my hand, and my brain is just like, this looks like a good spot. The watercolor paper of that one has eluded me, which is weird. Like, I'm literally I'm hoping I can just see it. I'm not gonna. And it's not the end of the world, because I keep watercolor paper cut down, all the things. Anyway. Let's actually make something, okay? I need to, let's flip the camera down. We can keep chatting while I figure out what the heck I'm doing with my life. So yeah, we're going to use this with this Mr. Bunny because he's just so, he's enormous too. So that's the other thing. We're going to do a 5x7 card today. Normally I do A2 size, but because I want to use him and another huge stamp, if I was going to do it A2 sized, like this is an A2 panel, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And like you can think, he just perfect. If I was just using him, I would totally like be fine with this, But the other thing I want to use is the ultimate oldie but goodie set, my Simon's Beautiful Flowers stamp set that I have used dozens. I think today makes 3 dozen times. I don't even know. Many videos. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel using this in all sorts of ways. So I wanted to combine the flowers with Mr. Rabbit. And so we're going to go bigger to fit more things onto the card. So, doodly doo. Okay, what? Yes, hi Mari. Also, speaking of which, I forgot to link to this. Look up, I don't even know if it's in stock. Look up Boop Dish. I got the CZ Design Boop Dish for a bling. Thanks to Mari, she gave that to me. I've been like wanting this for a while, so it's gonna be. We're gonna use it probably. I'm sure I'm gonna add bling, so I have it sitting like right here. I've been putting snacks in it. It works for embellishments, but it also works to hold some snicks. Anyway, okay. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we'll come back to him. It is in stock. Sweet. So yeah, little CZ Design Boop Dish, because you can put your bling in to boop it on, but also it holds snacks. That's literally what I've been using it for the last couple days. Okay, distress. You guys, I have like a mess going on here, but I have sort of a plan. So I think this piece I already cut down. I think 7. Okay, this is distressed watercolor paper, and it's 5x7 right now. We'll probably trim it down a bit. It is perfect for snacks. I don't have any snacks right now, my current obsession is those wintergreen mints. Actually, I'm gonna grab some. Screw this. Whatever. It's my life. I can do what I want.
You have a specific drawer for the food dish.
Well, no, there's no, well, there's kind of specific drawers for the snacks. I just hide stuff. I don't know. Anyway, you know, the wintergreen ones. These are my, like, go-to, and I stick them in the dish. You know? It works, okay? It works. So, I've got my, and of course, the minute you go live, my nose starts to run. Yeah, I'm super fancy. Like, that's how I use my little boop dishes. Really, any small container, it ends up being a snack container. Like, let's be honest, you know? Just is what it is. So, okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm a professional. I'm so professional. Okay, I gotta, like, organize my thoughts on what I want to do here. Yeah, I love these. I buy the huge bags of them, and they don't last very long because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Anyway, distressed watercolor paper, and it's got, when I'm talking about watercolor paper, just in general, when I mention this in my videos, I usually work on the smooth side. Like, specifically with distress, it's really obvious. Like, this is the textured side, which isn't super, it's hard to, there we go. It's not like super textured, but it's got a texture. And then the smooth side is quite smooth. Do not show the unpaid intern where you have your snacks. He is unpaid, filled by snacks. He will use your snacks. Thankfully, he's nothing compared to me. He knows where I hide my snacks. He doesn't touch them. Whereas me, well, no, the ones I leave upstairs. Yeah, the ones I leave upstairs, I've caught him. Because I'm like, wow, this bag's, like, sort of empty. But those ones, he knows better than to touch them. But, no, I'm the snack fiend in this house. He likes his snacks, but me, I'll inhale them. Anyway. Smooth side. For the background, it doesn't matter. But when I'm talking about, like, the smooth side, I choose that way if I'm stamping. Those sorts of things. So it's become habit. It's become habit to use the smooth side. So, for this, we're going to do some really simple, just like ink smushing. I think because really this background isn't going to show up a whole lot. Because, like, again, 5x7. We got big old Mr. Bunny who's going to take up, you know, I have a jelly bean dispenser on my desk. I have a, where did I put it?
What are you looking for?
I have a bubblegum dispenser. Oh. It's behind the Pusheen plushie. It's back in the corner.
Yeah.
Because that's my other obsession, but I try not to buy, like, the double bubble, like, the little gumballs. I have a little gumball machine in here. It's empty. Because same thing. Those, I'll, like, go through that in 2 days. It's ridiculous. So anyway. So we got that.
It's only got, like, 11 seconds of flavor for gum.
Well, yes, that gum, yeah, literally. I chew it till there's no flavor, and then I get rid of it, and then I go on to the next one. And so I'll literally inhale an entire box of gumballs. So I was like, we got Mr. Rabbit, and then we got some flowers. So you can see, like, we're not really going to see a whole lot. I also have some die cuts I want to, like, throw. We're going to pack a lot onto this. We're just going to see where this goes. Rough idea. Let's just do it. So I've got this. I've got an ink smushing. You were distracted by snacks. Yeah. I told you guys. We try not to start talking about food. Usually it comes in later in the lives, but let's just open the floodgates.
Time it would normally come up if we started.
I guess that, yeah, if we'd started an hour ago, this would be about the time we started talking about food. Is what it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, so ink smushing sleeve. This is just a stamp storage pocket. I link to these. I get them in packs of, Simon Says Stamp sells them in packs of like 50. And this is what I store a lot of my, like, smaller stamp sets, like the one, like, you know, I'll put stamp sets in here. This is what I store my pre-cut watercolor paper in. That's what I have, the missing package. and just whatever. But I keep this one. You can't really tell on camera, but this one's got like schmutz on it. This is what I call my ink smushing sleeve. So we got that. And then, oh, I need a craft mat. I knew there was something. Okay. I'll just grab one of these. This one will work. We'll keep this off to the side. Okay. So then I've got a craft mat so that I can get some more inky goodness, because why not? And then I got random distress inks. We'll do that one. Maybe with a speckled egg. Let's just start. Let's just start, and we'll just go from there. So we got distress inks, distress watercolor paper, ink smooshing sleeve, and then a craft mat, and last but not least, a spray bottle. Specifically the distress sprayer, because this one makes good splotchiness. I'm so technical and professional. Anyway, let's just do it. Let's just start. So, smush my ink pad onto the sleeve, spray with water, and because it's distress ink, it beads up. Oh, there you go. You can really see it there. It beads up. That's what we want. We want the beads of ink, you know? Because then it's going to create texture. Like love, you know? And then the thing specifically with, I need a cloth. Where's my cloth? There it is. The thing specifically with ink smushing, really, even if you're doing like watercolor, whatever, wet on wet blends, wet on dry layers. So if you want to keep the textury bits, you need to dry in between adding more layers. I'm expecting a gremlin to die. You know, don't be surprised. One of these days, you know, just like on like those like ghost hunter shows or something, it'll just be like the poltergeist just drifting behind me. It wouldn't surprise me at all, you know.
I could put on a gremlin costume and just walk behind.
You should. Go to when Spirit Halloween opens up again or something. Go get a like Freddy Krueger mask and whatever else.
Well,
that would be funny. It would be funny. Okay. Splotchiness is a very technical term. Yeah, exactly. It is. Because that's what we want. We want splotchy. I want texture. That's the thing I love the most about ink smushing is how easy it is. Like it's easy. And yet, and every time you do it too, it's different. You know, it's never going to be the same. You can use the same colors, the same everything. And it's never going to be, no piece is going to be the same as the next. I'm just like pressing whatever was left on my little storage sleeve, inky, smushy, whatever you want to call it. So now I want to wipe off what little is left. So we've got the layer 1. So we'll dry that. We watch My Cousin Vinny, that's the one with the court case, right?
Yes.
The car. I have that on the list. I've never seen that movie. It's old, but
it is really old. It's a 90s movie. I can't remember seeing it since like.
I've never seen it, but I'm aware of it. Like clips, I've watched when she's talking.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, when Marissa Tomei is like sitting on the bed and like being the witness or whatever. I've seen that clip like so many times when she was talking about, you know, the Pontiac and I love it. It's on my list. I need to watch that movie. I have we have like 50 movies on our list that we need to watch. Some of them we've seen a million times, and other ones, I've never seen. I've never seen it.
I watched any of that movie with Joe Pesci.
Yeah, I like Joe Pesci. I guess another one I need to watch again that's Casino, isn't it? It's not just what it's called.
Casino's great. I love
Casino's a good movie. I haven't seen Casino in like over 20 years. But yeah, I like Joe Pesci. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting distracted now. I'm just like, I want to go watch a movie. Anyway,
They did win an Oscar for that movie.
did she? That makes sense. That makes sense that she won an Oscar for it, because just the clip I've seen over and over again. I don't know. Every time it pops up, I sit and I watch it. And yeah, she's brilliant. 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 Amazing actress. Anyway. Okay. So here's the craft sheet. The only difference between using this and using this is when you do it on a craft sheet, you can't see what you're doing. You know, so this just gives you that control, which I get. You know, I think a lot of us makers have control issues. But the other thing you can do too, and this is a Tim Holtz thing, I don't do this very often, but it does work, is you can still see, even though I've sprayed it, it's all splotchy. I can even add a bit more. But we still have those like defined edges of the ink pads. So you just use your best tools and break it up. You know, just have fun with it. Why not? I'll even use like my fingernail and just kind of, you know, so you can do things like that. It will stain a bit. I don't care. Well, it's really going to stain my fingernail. I'm going to have blue nails tomorrow. I don't care. Anyway, so yeah, so you can't see where you're going when you do it this way, which is also kind of part of the process, you know? You get what you get. You don't throw a fit, as Tim says. But sometimes I prefer the sleeve, especially if I have a specific layout in mind. Like, I want color in a specific place. Love it. Yeah, no. I'll watch My Cousin Vinny one of these days. It's been frustrating. I have so many movies on my list, and the whole point of, you know, streaming services and everything, everything was supposed to be accessible. You know how hard it is to find some of these movies sometimes?
Yes.
And then they want you to buy them or rent them and all that crap, which just, I don't know. It just annoys me. It really does.
Cable is just...
Oh, I know. Chris and I have had many like conversations about that, because it's just like, streaming was decent, and now, you know, with all the new crap they're doing and like adding ads in unless you pay extra, and I was like, we're right back to where we started. History has repeated itself. Like, streaming is cable. That's all it is. It's annoying. It's annoying. Anyway. Okay. Reverse French blue manicure. I know, right? Like, look, it's blue. It's blue. But this was Salty Ocean, which is very blue, obviously. But that's okay. That's okay. And then also, oh, here we go. I need a piece of paper towel too. Paper towel always comes in handy, especially when you're working with distress ink. Oh yeah, and my thumb. I'm just gonna be a blue mess. Whatever. Paper towel comes in handy to like soak up any excess. Yada yada yada. So we got that. I'll add a bit of self shade. I think I'll keep the back kind of blue, because we'll do like bright colors for the flowers. That's the plan. That's the plan. So either way you do it, whether you're using, you know, and it doesn't have to be the storage, like you can use like recycled packaging, a Ziploc bag, whatever. I have a pile of these, you know, because I use them for everything. So it just comes in handy. So we're going to add some salvaged patina. I had to watch Final Destination 2 in French. Show of hands, even though I can't see you all. How many people were like traumatized by Final Destination? I will change lanes if there's a logging, and it has happened to me when I drove to BC like 15 years ago. There was logging trucks in front of me. I changed lanes and got ahead of them because in my mind, all I could think of was Final Destination. I was like, we're all gonna die.
I think of the same thing whenever I see like a truck carrying like any sort of big load.
Yes, any sort of big truck carrying like pipes. Those, yeah,
Or lumber.
all, yeah, anything piled up on the back of it. I'm just like, yeah, this is Final Destination. It's just gonna, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I spend a lot of time around truckers. So we know that, you know, they're humans, and sometimes they don't tie down their loads the way they should, right?
Nope. And Final Destination proved it. Okay,
Yeah.
proved it. I guess they're coming out with a new one.
Really?
I think
it's like 11.
I have no idea. They've done a lot of Final Destination movies. I'm not as excited for that one. I will be for. Here's another little confession. Chris is so not into them, and the Fast and the Furious movies, I love them. They are the dumbest movies ever. I love them. I haven't seen the newest one. Yeah, I haven't yet had a chance to watch the newest one. Man, I love those movies.
The last time we watched was
when they went to space.
And I'm just like, how is this happening?
I love it. He's like pressing the gas pedal and using the steering wheel in space. Love it. Bring in Jason Statham and The Rock and all of it, and all these like men being manly and family. Love it. Love it. I love those movies. They are just so stupid. So stupid, and I love them.
It's like a James Bond movie amped up to like 50.
Oh yeah. You know, I can't remember if it was that one with the space one or if it was the one before it, and The Rock's like hanging out of the huge fifth wheeler as they're driving on the ice, and he's like manually turning the missile with his muscles.
Oh.
I was like, love it. I'm here for it. It's all so stupid. It's stupid, and I love it. Yeah. I love Vin Diesel. I don't know what exactly. He just goes around and he's like, family. You know? I'm here for it.
Did he tell you that he started a video game company once? And that he made one game and he never made another one?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Vin Diesel is like, I think, kind of a nerd.
He is a big nerd.
Like, I think he's a bit of a gamer.
He does like,
and stuff too, but
he mentions that he still hangs out and like plays Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what I was gonna say. Doesn't he play Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah. I'm here for it. Like they can keep making Fast and Furious till all of them are like geriatric. You know, they'll be in the old folks' home with a walker and like finding ways to race cars. I don't care. I'm totally here for it. Oh my goodness. The Sharknado movies. I haven't seen them. Oh yeah, the Meg. Yeah. We saw the Meg and we saw the second one in theaters too. So dumb, but same thing. Put Jason Statham in anything, I'll sit and watch it. All right. He's another one of those ones where he's gotta, you know, save humanity with his fists. I don't know. I love it. I love stupid crap like that where I just shut my brain off and I don't expect any intellect. I am not going to learn anything. I'm just going to sit, watch the ridiculous eye candy, say and do really dumb things. I'm like, yep, I'm here for it. Family. Oh my goodness. Anyway, there's my background, which, yeah, I'm going to probably trim this down a bit. I want to add a little bit of texture. Jason Statham was a competitive diver. Yes, I knew that. Yeah.
I completely forgot, but yeah.
Yeah, the dude's like got some skill, like actual, you know, skill. And he is a decent actor. I like those movies. I don't know why.
Remember when he punched that shark in the face in the first Meg movie and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Statham punching a shark. Yes, I'm here for it. It's just love it, you know? Love it. Silly movies. Speaking of silly movies, if y'all haven't seen there is a trailer for a new Naked Gun movie. I showed it to Chris, and he just, at first, he was just like, this can't be real. And I was like, oh no, it's real.
Yeah, I didn't
And
know
it's
that
with
too.
Liam Neeson. Oh my
It's
goodness.
Leslie Nielsen, right?
Yes. So, yeah, we are going to be blessed with a new Naked Gun movie. No, because Leslie Nielsen.
Nielsen.
Yeah, they're not at all. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah, but yeah, we're getting a new Naked Gun movie, and it looks like it's going to be absolutely stupid. And again, I'm here for it.
I love the first ones. That scene where he's like bribing the dock worker, and he's the dog.
I've only seen parts of it.
Oh, it's
I've
so
only
good.
seen parts of it. I need to watch the old ones. I was sheltered growing up. Okay, I've got some paste here. I'm like getting so sidetracked, you guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys are welcome. If you hadn't heard, you'll have to go look it up after the live. Is the Naked Gun trailer? I assume it's coming out soonish, like sometime this year, because the trailer's been officially released or whatever. But yeah, people were asking, like they were saying, like, is this an April Fool's joke? But as far as I've heard, it's like legit. It better be. Otherwise, I think we'll all riot because we need that. It's like, no, you can't tempt me with that. Like, trust me, when you guys all understand, when you see the trailer, I'll just say Liam Neeson in a schoolgirl skirt. I'm here for it. I was amused.
He's got a very particular set of skills.
He does have a very particular set of skills. Oh my goodness, seeing him act like so ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'm like so distracted, you guys. This is the GEO Leaves stencil, and I have the this is Opaque Crackle texture paste, which, yeah, we're just gonna apply it. I'm not worried about perfection here, other than I think I want to just, where's my how do I want to do this? I'll just use some Post-it tape. I'll just use a bit of Post-it tape because, again, I think I'm gonna trim this down a bit. So we'll just do like that. Because, again, we're not going to see a whole lot of this background. Yeah. This should work. There we go. Boop. Okay. So we got Crackle texture paste. We're not going to need very much. And then the stencil. And I'm going to manage to get this all over myself, but whatever. Let's just apply some of this. That's good. It, again, does not need to be perfect. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Who, what now?
Do you like movies like The Princess Bride and Neverending Story and Dark Crystal?
Love The Princess Bride.
Yes.
We quote that one quite often. Neverending Story. I loved it as a kid. I don't think I will ever watch that movie, and I'm not gonna subject my children to that. That movie traumatized me. I loved it. I loved it as a kid, but it traumatized me. So we were talking about the other day about like maybe letting the kids see it, and I was like, no. I had nightmares from that movie as a kid. It was. I loved it. I did also love it. Like, yeah, we're both fantasy nerds. Like, we read fantasy novels and like video games and movies and that kind of stuff. Totally, 100%. I like the fantasy stuff.
I'm actually kind of surprised they never made like a more modern version of the Neverending Story. I suspect there's probably some sort of like legal reason.
There must be like legal issues because they've remade practically everything under the sun, and the fact that the Neverending Story hasn't been remade, yeah, there's probably a legal. The amount of like legal caveats and crap, who knows? Anyway, okay, so I applied the Crackle paste. Take that off. I can't reuse that, sadly, but that's okay. And then take that off. Oh, this Crackle paste was being really weird. Interesting. Okay, so now I just need to let that dry. So we're just going to set it aside and let it do its thing. This I'm going to throw in a container of water. Okay. So we're going to let that dry. Now we need to figure out, yeah, our tax. That's what traumatized me. Like him. Ooh, I stuck this stamp on it. Let me quickly. Ooh, carefully. I don't want to rip off the image. Yeah. It was when art, like just parts of it. Also, as a kid, I had a very sheltered upbringing, so I had told Chris this a while ago. Like one of my favorite movies is Hook. Like R.I.P. Robin Williams, love Hook. Will always be one of my absolute favorite movies. But the one scene in that movie traumatized. Like I had nightmares for years, and it was the scene with the boo box and the scorpions. Which random little trivia note. The pirate they stuck in the boo box was Glenn Close. I learned that recently. I did not know she was in that movie, and I don't even know if she's actually credited in the movie, but it was Glenn Close. Anyway, traumatized me. I had nightmares for many years. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to have to do some jumping around because I've got a clear stamp and because the Tim Holtz set, Mr. Rabbit, is red rubber on cling foam. And then, of course, the beautiful flower set is a clear photopolymer. So I also am going to need to stamp him more than once because the coordinating die set for him, which again, apologies, this isn't in stock. This sold out. They will restock it. You can always click the like notify me button or whatever. But yeah, the coordinating die set die cuts him, but then there's dies to die cut like his little like suit, and I think we're gonna paper piece. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna see. So what I want to do, there we go. You just learned that? Yeah, isn't that crazy that it was, I never knew that until recently. I was today years old when I learned that Glenn Close was in Hook. So, because this is a red rubber and cling, I have to take out my grip mat. We talked about this, I think it was just in the last live. And I can technically take this out too. We don't need anything in here, but we'll just like flip that over just so we know what we're doing. And we're going to stamp Mr. Rabbit. And do I want to heat emboss him? I don't think so. I can just heat set the ink. It should be fine. It should be fine. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp it with just VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. So we can stamp him. And he has a ton of detail. Like, look at that. Look at that. Look at him. He's so majestic. So dignified in his little suit. Love it. Okay. So we've got that. And then I'm going to do the flowers with this, but maybe we'll do his, he's going to have a bright suit. Why not? Why not? So I've got some pattern paper. I showed this. The last time I used the beautiful flower set, in fact, I did this live like a month ago. And I used these pattern papers in it. I just want to know which ones. Ooh. Why not? Let's go crazy. Why not? Let's use that one. These are the Craft Consortium Pigment Infusions. They're beautiful. Beautiful. Lovely. Love them. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous, darling. Okay, let's give him a crazy suit. Why not? Why not? So we do that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to need, I think I'll have space to be able to just, and really, I don't need there's no point wasting a bunch of this. So let's just go like that. So got that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. So we got those. Let me wipe that off. Okay. Do red rubber stamps need the same conditioning that... They're not acrylic stamps, they're just photopolymer. Because trust me, there are acrylic stamps on the market. They're garbage. I hate acrylic stamps. They're awful. I don't know if they're necessarily acrylic, but they're like almost like PVC. They're disgusting and they smell. Clear photopolymer, when they're brand new, like this one is obviously very, very stained. But when a clear photopolymer stamp set is brand new, a lot of times you're going to find, in fact, most of the time you'll find the first time you ink it up, depending on what ink you're using. But let's say a regular like water-based type ink. You go to ink it up and you stamp it and it's very splotchy. It's not very even. There a lot of times there is just like almost like a coating on clear photopolymer. It's part of the manufacturing process when they wash it off after it's been like made. And it's super easy to deal with when it's a brand new stamp. A lot of times I'll just literally just rub it with my hands. You can use a white eraser. Do not use sandpaper. People have recommended that. Do not use sandpaper on your stamps. You can't bring that back. If you sand this, you're gonna literally remove the image, like parts of it. So all you need to do is, I'll rub it with my hands. A white eraser works. You could ink it up multiple times and just stamp it on scrap paper. That works too. You notice it more, like one like this, it's not as obvious because it's very deep, like very detailed, liney, etc. But when you've got solid, say a silhouette image or just let's say with a large solid circle, you can really see that on brand new. In fact, here we go. This I can show on this set. I'm going to use the sentiments, but yeah, these are brand new because I haven't used these stamps from this set. I've used like the smaller ones in the sentiments, but see, like they're like shiny. So these, before using it, I would just rub my hands on it. Just like that. That's all you got to do. And then it just takes ink better. Now with red rubber, you don't need to do that. It's pretty rare that red rubber, it may be, again, if it was something similar to this where you could just got a large, like smooth, solid surface. There were times back in the day, every once in a while, on a red rubber stamp where same thing, there would almost be like a coating on it. So I would just rub my hands on it. So yes, I took the grip mat out of here because this stamp, it's red rubber on cling foam, so it's thicker. Because compared to, I don't know how well I'll be able to show that on here. It's very difficult to see, but like photopolymer is thinner. Because the photopolymer is about the thickness of like red rubber, like just the red rubber on its own. But then the red rubber has foam, backing it, so it makes it thicker. So I got to take that out of here, my grip mat, so that I have space to stamp. Now, I take him off. If I was going to try and stamp this without anything else in here, I can't get the stamp to connect with the paper because there's too much of a gap. That's why we have the grip mat, or I talked about this in the last live, just the black foam that comes in the MISTI. You don't get rid of that. You need that. You keep the black foam in there and your cardstock when you're stamping with clear stamps. The grip mats, these are like newer on the market. You don't need them. They're just convenient. So we've stamped Mr. Rabbit. Now I've put the grip mat back in here. And I need to stamp my big floral. Where's all that? There it is. I'm going to just use the same distress watercolor paper for all of this, just to keep life simple. So I'm going to stamp the floral onto here. So now I've got my grip mat in there. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp it, same thing, with just the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Just like so. So we've got... Love it. And just like everything, when it comes to... Did I have schmutz on there? I don't think I did. When it comes to photopolymer stamps, the more you use them, the better they stamp. It is another one of those things in card making, that idea of perfection and keeping everything pristine, etc., which I rail against constantly. But photopolymer, good quality photopolymer will stain. It just is what it is. It will stain. The more you use it, the more it stains. But honestly, the more it gets stained, the better it works. Like this stamp I have used dozens of times. Like it is stained. So stained. But it stamps first go. You know? It just works. And I find that with any of my stamps. Any of them. The more you use them, the better they work. Okay. I'm just like cleaning. Because again, this stamp gets dirty because I use it all the time. So let's clean them up. There we go. Okay, and I need the package because I need to stamp the florals. Oop. Let's put him back there. So the other thing, the reason why I love this set so much, okay, I'm like getting myself confused, is because not only do you have the big, oh, my little mask is like completely falling apart. Oh well, you got the big floral, but the 3 individual blooms, which are the exact shape and size of these. And that's what, oh, I love these. Because we can layer these on top, which is what I'm planning on doing. Because we've got this. And then I'm going to set this aside as well. I want to paper piece these with that pattern paper. Because that way we don't have to color nothing, but also it'll just look fun. So let's do... What colors do I want to do? Oh, I like that. I like all of them. They're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. Wow. These papers are so pretty. I like that they give you like 4 of each, which is great because then yeah, I'm not gonna completely be a bum about not using them and hoarding them like I normally do. These are more green and blue. I don't want those. I like this one a lot. Okay. We can do one like that. Do one like that, maybe. Let's grab one of the other. Yeah. Let's do this one. Why not? So many pretty colors. I like it. I like it a lot. Wow. Oh, okay. I'm going to do... All right. Still have plenty left over. Who cares? So, let's do this one with like the purple. So, we'll stamp that. Just like that. Oh, look at it. Look how beautiful it is. And then we can just go like that. Keep all the paper. And then wipe that off. And then this one we'll do in that color. And this one, let's do like that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Make a bunch of, yeah, you totally could. Could stamp like multiples of these. You know, fill it all up. Cut them all out, and then you can have a pile of them to use on projects. which, okay, I'm not going to use that one, but actually that's got me thinking about the inside of the card, so I'm just going to rotate this. That'll work. I'll just stamp this. I'll keep one extra one because we'll use that on the inside of the card. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Again, method to the madness. So let's wipe that off so I don't get my elbow in it. Let's wipe this one off. Same thing. There we go. All right. I love that those papers are usually slickly smooth. These are not. These ones don't have that coating, which I personally prefer. I don't like the almost like a semi-gloss finish that a lot of pattern papers have nowadays. I hate it. I don't like it. It bugs me to no end. I like my pattern papers to just be like matte, like just regular paper. I don't like that shiny finish. I'll work with it if that's what I've got, and it still looks pretty, but I prefer the matte papers. It just works better. I don't know. Okay. Cut these guys just out of the paper. Just like so. Okay, so now I can set that aside so I don't need to deal with that right now. And then I did not heat emboss any of these. I'm just going to blast them with the heat tool though, because the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, it does dry fairly quickly, but I have a bad tendency of smearing this ink. So I'm just going to make sure it doesn't smear. A lot of commercial calendars also have that glossy type paper. Yeah, it makes it hard to write on them. And that's why I don't like it for card making, because quite often I will want to add, elements, go over it with a marker, etc., and inks have a hard time with glossier surfaces. So yeah, it's just annoying, okay? Look at him. Look at him. Look how cute he is. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing with this. Okay. We got all that. So now we got a die cut. So same thing. This beautiful flowers set. The coordinating wafer die is out of stock. Just heads up on that. But yeah. Even this one wouldn't be the worst to fussy cut within reason, unless you really want to get in there. But in the previous live when I used this, I did fussy cut the florals. I'm just gonna use the coordinating wafer dies to save us all the aggravation. But, and same with Mr. Bunny, Mr. Rabbit, you could fussy cut him too, but it all just kind of is what it is. I need all the wafer dies that are literally all over my desk. Oh, the paste dried. Look it. See, it's all crackly.
Dried crackle.
Isn't that fun? Love it. Okay, so that's good to go. We're good. Everything's good. More so because I'm sitting and blabbing with you all and not actually getting things done. Okay. So, I'm gonna die cut all of the things. Doobly-doo. Let's lay this one out and die cut him. Get that lined up. Close enough. Better than horrible. And then line up some of these ones. Get these die cut. Just like so. Okay. Let the die cutting commence. Run that through the machine. What do you think of the scan and cut machines? I have no opinion. I have no opinion. I personally, like, I don't have one. I've looked into them a couple times. They're expensive. And for me personally, and how I like to make, I like the hands-on. Like, I prefer wafer dies and doing the things. Like, that's why I don't like have a Cricut machine or Silhouette, scan and cut, all those things. Because that's not how I like to create. I sit in front of a computer for my job 24/7. It never ends. You know? I prefer the tangible, but that doesn't mean those are bad or wrong. You know, people make amazing things and they use scan and cuts and do. It's fine. I did not die cut this very well. It shifted. Good job, Amy. Is it still usable? Not really. No, I foobarred that one.
Did we do it?
Yeah, I foobarred it. Okay. It's just paper. We can redo it. Not a big deal. So that's what I'll do. Anyway, yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan. But that's just because that's how I prefer to create. Okay, let's line this guy up. Boop. Like that. I can die cut these flowers. Let me get these lined up. Just like so. And then that was this one. So we'll get these into place. Yes. And then we can die cut them. Okay. Doodly-doo. Double checking again. Okay. Double checking, making sure everything's lined up. There we go. So I can just restamp. I'm gonna pop out the little die cut pieces.
Goodness, that was quite the noise.
What?
That ding, 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 ding that it was making. Yeah.
Welcome to Amy's ASMR YouTube channel. I start whispering into the camera and doing the little like. Trust me, I'm never gonna get into that kind of stuff. I don't mind it.
It's not really for me.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind it every once in a while. Like something will pop up, and I was like, "Oh yes, I get it. I like those sounds." But to actually make that sort of content isn't gonna happen. Good Lord, you guys know I like to talk too much. You know, for me to just be silent and just make noises. No. I need to be able to talk to you. I need to be able to explain things. The crazy thought process.
You could do it in that like sultry voice.
In the sultry voice. Welcome to Amy. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't keep a straight face. Shut up. No. It's bad enough when I, do the little Simon Hurley, like, let's make eye contact while I die cut. Because, he does that, like, awkward die cutting. Love it. I get a kick out of that. I can't do it, you guys.
It's like watching your 19-year-old son go to the bathroom. And he's making eye contact.
And actually, I can't do the sultry. One of the kids' boyfriends watch my content.
Yeah, that's true.
Now I'm like, all I'm thinking about is... I'm sorry, Jasper. I'm sorry. Look. Anyway. Okay. First off, let's go back to what we were doing. Yeah, Amy After Dark. Nope. Anyway. Look at him. I love him. So our flowers, I need to restamp because I messed up, which happens. Where's my... Oh, you guys, the mess I have going on here now. I need a bigger boat. Need a bigger desk. Need a bigger boat. All the things. Okay. Let's go back to this. There's my stamp. In fact, I think my problem is what I need to do. Where is that wafer die? There it is. Okay. We got our wafer die. How about I make sure that I get him kind of like lined up. I honestly, there we go. I think because I'm pretty sure I've stretched this stamp a bit. Just all my years of using it, and also, you know, especially when it was newer stuff, like I can get pretty rough with my stamps, and I'm like yanking it off the sheet. I think I do think I've actually stretched the stamp a tiny bit, which is why sometimes I have difficulty getting it, like die cutting it properly. So if I use the die to kind of help me, actually, where is it? There it is. Here we go. Ha! Here's the actual die cut. Let's just put this in place, and then I'll use that as my template. Sort of. Should be able to make this work. This also works if, and because I've shown this, like die cutting a little template when you're trying to line up your wafer dies, but you can also do that to like line up your stamps. So here we go. This should work within reason. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, you know, but this should be decent, you know, good enough. I ain't too worried about it. Honestly, though, this set, I've used it so much, it wouldn't hurt. Maybe I'll purchase a new one. That'd be a first. I've used the set so much, I had to replace it. But why not? I do love this set. Okay, there we go. Get the schmutz off there. There we go. I can't deal with ASMR. It's not for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, that's why I always say it's just like everything. It would be boring if we were all into the same thing. You know, ASMR really appeals to some people. And then for others, yeah, it's almost like nails on a chalkboard. Like they just, you know, and it's just interesting to me. I find that interesting, like how it affects people's brains, you know? So yeah, it's just interesting. But it would be boring if we all liked the same thing, if we were all making the same thing, if we were all just into, we need variety, folks. That's all the fun. Okay, so we stamped it. Let's see if I can die cut it this time. I'm going to still blast it with my heat tool quick just because this ink does like to smear. I have the Cricut Joy, just still haven't figured out how to use it properly. I think Ralph Tyndall has done a couple videos specifically on the Cricut Joy. Because I know he uses it a fair bit in his like making. And yeah, because he uses it, but he has like the bigger ones and stuff too. But I've seen him use the Cricut Joy, and he'll also use his to like make custom sentiments. I like that, you know, because like very like, you know, a very specific theme, and then he'll like have the Cricut write the sentiment and then cut around it, like things like that. It's cool. But I think he's done a couple videos explaining it, because I know that kind of stuff, it just doesn't, that's not how my brain works. Okay, I'm gonna tape this into place this time. Doop, doop. Okay. I'm going to line it up as best I can. And yeah, this should be good. Should be good. There we go. There we go. I got schmutz on the die cutting plate. Let's just wipe that off. Okay. Got the schmutz off the die cutting plate. Line that up. All right. Now let's cut this. Okay. The moment of truth. Better. Still not perfect. Better. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. And then I'll save the rest of this watercolor paper for other little projects. There we go. Stick that over there. Okay. So we got flowers and our bunny. The flowers and our bunny. There is always a method to madness. Oh, and then his suit. I was like, I'm missing something. His suit.
Yeah.
Ah, we need to die cut his little suit so that he can have some little exciting bits of color. Okay, got that. Let's die cut. Did I get any more schmutz? Ooh, it did. There was still some ink. Is that Nocturne ink? Like I said, it takes a while to dry. Okay, there we go. Ready. Now, let's die cut these ones. I'm going to make a template of. Because, yeah, these ones, I think they have them so they cut like right on the line. So, this is what I was talking about earlier about like making a little die cut template. Let's just take a couple pieces of Post-it tape. And we'll die cut these pieces from it. Just like that. Just like that. And like that. And then I can use these to help line up the wafer dies so that I get a good cut. Get that out of the way. So, I want this part because that will be our template. The inner portions. Get off the... There we go. Okay. There. We've got our outlines. So now I can use those to line up exactly. Oh yeah, they did. They got these dies right on the edge. I like that. I like that. Okay. So then I can just kind of shimmy it into place and you can kind of feel it like once it's in where it needs to be. Okay. Just like that. And then for this one, I can get him into place. Like that. And then there we go. Okay. So then we can flip that over. We'll die cut that and then we'll die cut his little bow tie. There we go. So this is gonna be so cute. Oh, he's just gonna have a fabulous little suit jacket. Love it. Ooh, I might need to stamp his bow. Will I need to stamp it another time? Oh, I need to stamp his bow. Yes, we need to stamp his bow again. It came not where it was supposed to be. So let me restamp. Where did he go? There he is. He didn't get far. We just need to stamp him on another piece, which is fine. What color do I want his bow to be? We could do it. Ooh. Yeah. We could do this like corner right here. That might take me a little bit of finagling, but I can do it. I can do it. Where's my snare? Okay. We need that. And that. Again, we take the grip mat out because this is a cling stamp. And then I will put a piece of just, let's just put a little piece of scrap paper. This will all make sense in a second. See, this is a thing that we had to do back in the day before we had like photopolymer stamps. It's like figuring out like where, you know, because I want just that area. So what I'm going to do, I had ink on them. See, this is why I wipe my stamps off. I've got ink all over me. You guys, oh my god. And I got, this is why I wipe off the stamps, damn it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't need to use like such a tiny piece. There's a bigger piece with the, ooh, there's even brighter. Yeah, okay. We're good. Everything's fine. Amy's fine. Let's just, yeah. Let's just save ourselves the aggravation. There we go. Love it. Okay. So now he can have, and I'm going to wipe this stamp off. Let's move all the things out of the way so I can figure out what I'm doing with my life. Welcome to the chaos, y'all. This is basically how things work around here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's, oop, I'll lose my little templates. Okay. Let's just wipe that off so I don't get ink absolutely everywhere like I already have been doing. And then the other thing I need to do is take a bit of hand sanitizer. Even though I absolutely hate hand sanitizer, I hate the smell of it. It's just, ugh. But it helps to remove the ink so that I'm not transferring it to absolutely everything else. Okay. There we go. So we got that. And then my piece. So you can have a bright yellow bow tie because of course he would. Of course he would. So we'll dry that. I don't know how organized I am though. I'm not. I'm not organized. I said that earlier. Like, I waste way too much time looking for things. Okay. That'll be good. So, we need to now die cut his little bow tie. Just like that. Oh, no. Stay where you belong so I can get his bow tie into place. Here's my little template. There. Okay. So we can run that through. Well, I caught it before I saw your comment, Pam. I made sure to dry it within reason. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Everything's good. Okay. And now we've got a little bright. Seriously, look at him. Look at him. So, what I want to do with him is not lose all my corner. Oh, you guys. Whatever. Whatever. I can clean up afterwards. I want to add some color. you know what? Let's just do really quick and simple. So, you know, I stamped him onto watercolor paper, distressed watercolor paper. So, because I don't want to leave him like completely plain. So, I'm just going to use a bit of vintage photo, smushed it right on my glosswork surface, and just a little water brush. This is going to be nothing special, really, but we'll just lightly paint on some of this to give him some color. Just like so. Go in there. Just kind of following the lines in the detail, like wherever the lines are darkest. And then these areas where there's less line work, I'll just use a lighter hand and not add much color. Just like that. He's a distinguished gentleman. I like him. Yeah. So we did that. And then what we can do is I can wipe that up. Got to add a little bit of pink to the insides of his ears, obviously, which means I need spun sugar. There it is. We need some spun sugar. And then that's his shirt. So we could add a little bit of salvage patina. Okay. I wasn't planning on doing any little watercoloring, but this is pretty basic. So we'll take a little bit of spun sugar, which doesn't really look like much. This is why I usually use my little white plastic palette, but I can see it because this is just going to be quick and easy. So add a bit of that to the inside of his ear, and then wipe that up, wipe off my brush, and then for his little shirt, we'll just use some of the salvage patina. And just fill that in like so. Yeah. Yes. That's it. That's all we needed to do. So now he's just got a little bit of color. And no, he's not embossed. He was just stamped. We could have embossed him. I had mentioned that kind of earlier that, and I probably should have because I managed to get ink everywhere. That's why I heat emboss. Is to prevent me from getting ink everywhere. But whatever. Whatever. He is a dapper old chap, isn't he? And then we're going to add... Oh, he's going to look so cute. Okay, let's adhere that. Let me get my glue, which I'm sure is clogged because I never put the lid on it. Okay. Yes, glue is clogged. Okay. I need to grab a pin, unclog the glue. Okay. So now we can adhere his little suit jacket pieces into plate. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Love it. Oh, welcome to the chaos, Paulette. And yeah, I got just a few videos to keep you entertained. You know, I think I'm very close to 3,000 videos at this point. Did I pass 3,000? I don't even know. There's a lot. But yeah, newbies are always welcome here.
You're not
you
quite
know,
3 yet.
Close to it though. Yeah. Oh, look at his little. Seriously, like.
He looks like he's ready for a night at the opera.
So it clogs even with pushing it down and throw it. Oh yeah, mine clogs all the time. Because more often than not, I just throw it in. I don't like make sure that it's positioned perfectly. So mine is usually like, you know, it clogs. It just is what it is. I don't. All my glues, regardless of container, anything. Look at him. Look at him. They all clog. That's why I keep pins on my desk. It just is what it is. A lot of other people have said they've never had an issue. It never clogs for them. But they also, different climate, different type of glue, and they probably are just better people than me. I'm sure my glue clog is just like some twisted form of karma. So, anyway. Look at him. Sir, we could just call it a day. Really, you could make this a card. Because if you die cut just a piece and then scored like right there and then adhered it right just behind the ears, you could make this could be just a card. You could do that. It'd be cute. It'd be cute. Not gonna do that because I have like 5 million other things I want to add to this as per usual. So we got him. Oh, love him. And then, okay, I had said I wanted to trim this down, which I do. I need to trim this down a bit because this right now is 5x7. And my card base is going to be 5x7. And I want this to be smaller than my card base. So my plan was to cut it down to... How much do I want to cut off? Probably like a 1/4 inch off each side. So we'll do... That'll make it like 4.5 by 6.5 is what this panel will end up as. So we've got that. And then we have these. We've got Mr. Rabbit. Some of this is going to get cut off. That's fine. Then we've got our flowers. Love it. And then I also have, I did another oldie but goodie favorite that I've used like a bunch of times is this etched laurel leaves, which I die cut from some mint green. Ooh, I don't want to lose that wafer dye. Oh, get back here. This is, I need more space. Okay, so I was like, because I want to tuck some of these in amongst it. However, before I add them, I want to add just a bit of ink to these because I die cut them from the mint green cardstock. I'm missing one. Where's the other one? I know there was one. There he is. Okay, so I die cut these from the mint green cardstock, and then my plan, where are my grip mats? There they are. Grip mats. Oh, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyway, okay. Stick this to a grip mat just to hold these guys in place, and I put that upside down. Habit. There we go. Okay. We're just going to add just very simple ink blending. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I had pulled, where did it go? Cracked pistachio. Yes. I have some cracked pistachio ink, and I need a little brush. There we go. And I also need to wipe off the brush. All right. The way your mind works. Yeah, you guys, it's a scary place in there most days. It's a scary, scary place, seriously. But sometimes everything works out.
Like
Not always.
Story swamp.
Yeah, it is like the never-ending story swamp. Okay. Wiped off the brush within reason. And then we're just going to blend some cracked pistachio ink onto the die cuts. Just again, it just gives them more depth. Because see, this ink will dry. Distress inks don't necessarily dry back like other stamping inks like the Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks, Concord 9th, Altenew. I'm sure other brands are very similar. Those inks have additives in them that help them to like smooth out, dry back, soften. Distress inks are their own very unique formula and they don't do that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, I like that. It just gives it so much depth versus just plain cardstock, you know? Okay. So I'm gonna blend. No. Blend this onto the pieces. Just to give them that extra little something something. There we go. Okay. Just got those. So we got our little die cut pieces. And then wipe that ink off of my grip mat. Get, oh, see, I need a bigger boat. Okay. Still waiting for that sugar daddy to come along that just wants to bless me with tons of money in exchange for my sparkling personality.
Me too.
Yeah.
When he shows up.
Yeah. I've been trying to get Chris to, like, I don't know, post feet pics or something. I don't know, man. What are we going to do?
Nobody wants to see Hobbit feet.
Nobody. Another thing, when it comes to, I wasn't going to do this, but now I want to. I want to add a bit more depth to these. Not a lot. I have to be careful, though, because I stamped these with VersaFine. Sorry. There we go. Can't eat and talk at the same time. VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, which is not alcohol marker friendly. This ink will smear. So that's what I need to be careful of. So, but I'm also not going to do blending. I just want to take, like here, I just want to take an alcohol marker. I'll zoom in a bit. And just use like this brown one. I'm just going to like fill in the flower centers. And then the little stamens, let's add a bit of color to that too. Let's take like Y28. Oh, never mind. Can't. That one's dried right out. Good job, Copic. Okay. I'll add that one to the list of ones I need to replace. So I don't have that color. Let's use E99. That'll work. So we'll use this one. And I'm just like feathering in, you know, and then dotting it where the stamens are. Doesn't need to be perfect. I'm, like I said, I'm not doing blending or anything like that. Do that. I'm trying not to like completely overthink this. I think I'm okay with just that. I could go in and start, but again, I don't want to smear. My comments went all weird. There we go. I don't want to smear the inks or anything, so this is good. This was just, it gave that little extra something. Ooh, and I'll take it on this little piece because I'm going to use that on the inside. We'll just do just like that. Okay, so we got that. So I got Mr. Bunny. Let's just, I was gonna add like that. Yeah. All right, let's just commit. Let's just commit. Like, don't overthink it. Let's just do it. So we'll just adhere those guys to my card base. Oh, and I'll zoom out a tiny little bit. There we go. how many years do your Copics last before you need to replace them? Honestly, I've had some since the beginning. Some of my Copic markers are 15 years old. I've talked about this here and there. Copics were amazing up until a few years ago. A big thing shifted because Copics are made in Japan. And originally, up until a certain point, I would have recommended these hands down, 100%, no qualms, worth the investment. And then something changed with Copic. I'm not even 100% sure. Basically, like ownership changed, like things changed. There was also like a huge, when that earthquake happened in Japan. I forget how many years ago that was.
2011.
It was 2011. So there was also that earthquake, which drastically affected like manufacturing and everything else. But a series of things went on with the company, and they are no longer the same as they used to be. And all my like original Copics have been amazing. I rarely have issues. But a lot of the newer ones have like hairline cracks in the lids. And like I've heard that I don't know if this one will apply to this because this one might just be really old. Where did they go? I was told, and I've never tried this, so I don't know if this will work. But like taking a flashlight and you're supposed to be able to like shine it through like this and then look, and you should be able to see if there's a crack. Like this one doesn't, this lid doesn't have a crack. Let's see if this one does. So you just hold up a flashlight to the lid. I don't see any cracks in this one. So I think this one just, I might not have had the lid on all the way. But yeah, there have been rough issues. And the thing that really irritates me is people have contacted Copic about this issue, and the only response they've been giving is that they're aware of it, that it no longer exists, which, and that you can just purchase new lids. That isn't even an option. You can't buy just the lids. So I still love my Copics. I just don't recommend anyone invest in them until I have heard that there are no more issues, because they're not cheap. They're amazing markers, but they're not cheap. And yeah, I still use mine because I have pretty much all the colors. I invested a lot of money over the years to get them all, and they work wonderfully. But yeah, that's the thing with the Copic markers that just makes me really, really angry. Okay, so we've got our little bits and pieces. I'm just going to apply adhesive more kind of towards the spine of the greenery bits. And then tuck that there, just like that. And then Mr. Rabbit, I think him will pop up with thin, or actually use big monofoam tape. Still going strong on this huge roll. Okay. So, everything's still, okay, good. So, we're gonna add, where's my scissors? So it's not fixable if they're dry. If your alcohol, oh, why is my flashlight still on? Shut off. If your marker is like, this is dried out, like this is hard as a rock, it's dried out, it is done. Do not even bother trying to fix it. It's not worth it. Because when it's dried out, that means like the core of this, because it's like a felt core in here, it's dried out too. Don't bother. Get a new marker. That's what I've done when they're like dry. It's one thing if they're starting to dry out because you've used up all the ink. That's fine. You can add re-inker to it and it's good. But when it is dried out like this and it's like literally like rock solid, it's done. I'm setting it aside to remind myself the next time I place an order that I need to order a new one. And yeah, it's not worth trying to fix. I've heard people trying to like soak it in alcohol. I mean, once it's done for, if you want to attempt it, but I think the time and the effort to do it, versus just purchasing a new marker. And yeah, That one I'm not sure why it's dry, but because obviously I just checked and the lids are not cracked or anything, so who knows? Who knows what happened? There are times where I think some of mine have dried out because I just threw it back and I didn't make sure that the lid, because with the Copics, you can hear them like they click. That noise, like you gotta make sure the lids are on. So I might not have had the lid on all the way and it sat there and it died, but oh well. Oh well. Okay. I bought a lot on clearance. The lids are full of ink. That can happen. Copic markers are like sort of pressurized. So if you find that, if you've purchased them and like there's a bunch of ink in the lids, or if you've traveled with them, if you've refilled them, everything, the best thing to do is actually you take the lids off both ends and just let it sit for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be very long, but that just kind of like evens out all the things. That also happens like if you find that you go to take the lid off and like the last time you refilled this, you might have added a little too much ink, but you go to take the lid off and it's like drippy. Same thing. Take both lids off, let it sit for a bit first and kind of even out. And then if I've overfilled them, which has happened, I just take a tissue and like kind of soak up the excess and then we're good. Do you like the Olo markers? I have an entire playlist on my channel using Olo markers. They're great. I love them. And yes, they're at Creativation in Seattle right now. And I already had someone notify me that because Olo is there and they're on the show floor and they said they are coming out with the bullet nibs later this year. It's been like official. So I'm kind of excited about that. Anyway. Doop. Okay. So we added some foam tape to Mr. Rabbit. And then I can peel off all the bits so we can pop him into place. Doop. Doop. Okay. So we're just gonna stick him like that. There we go. And then, so we can adhere the little greenery bits. And since I popped him up with foam tape, I'm going to have to use dimension for the flowers as well, which is fine. Because that'll just give everything. I think that one goes there. This one goes there. Oh, that guy. That's why I was confused. Okay. That one goes there. That one goes there. And that one goes like that. And he's just like peeking out. Love it. Okay. Yeah. So of course we are kind of covering up a little bit of his outfit, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Or I could trim this down. And tuck it underneath. Like that. Yeah, so we don't cover up too much of his little outfit. That works. So then we can just go like that. And tuck that in. Just like that. And then these two can kind of sit. Like so. Yes, that's what I want to do. That's what I did. That's what I did. Do you have a video showing how to refill? I might. I honestly don't know, you guys. I genuinely have no idea. I could probably use thin foam squares for that. I just use pieces of the Big Mama tape. But yeah, it would be old. You would just have to search on my channel if I have one. I might have, but I don't do anything special. I literally, with the refilling, I just take it like this and I just drip the refills and let it absorb. I don't do like anything special. Like you can technically, you're supposed to like take the nib out and have a scale and weigh it and all. I've never bothered. But at the same time, I probably should bother and do it properly, but I don't. I just don't. Okay. So I can take some foam tape here and just tuck it in to these spots. Like that. So then these guys will then be lined up like so. You just kind of match up the little points. Look at him. He's so cute. He's so cute. Okay. Now, I was also planning, that's what I was going to do. I was like, there's a spot I was going to snip apart. My plan was to like tuck in, actually snip it apart even more. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, careful with that. Just getting ahead of myself with everything. Carefully peel that up, just a smidge, so I can stick that into place. Like that. There we go. There we go. It's got little greenery bits. And then for my sentiment, I was going to use, already on that. Oh, you guys, I have so much stuff on here. Don't want to lose those pieces. Those will go on the inside. For my sentiment, I was going to use this once I dig it out from underneath everything. Oh my goodness. Got like foam tape bits. Okay. This is the little Happy Eggs set that I've used already. I used some of the sentiments and I've used like those little eggs. And I just thought the sentiment obviously worked really nicely with this. And I was going to use a piece of Simon's Dull Pink cardstock. And we will white heat emboss this. So I need, oh dear. There we go. Okay, so I've got white embossing powder. I have my heat tool and a mess. And my brain stock. There we go. Okay. Let's move that there. Let's put this here. And then we can put some cardstock into place. And I'll do both sentiments. Let's do that. Why not? I'll heat emboss all these because then I'll just use the coordinating wafer dies to die cut them, because the other two I'll put on the inside of the card. So let's just line these guys up just like so. Doesn't need to be perfect like it would ever be. Clear embossing ink. Where'd that run off to? Literally. There it is. Clear embossing ink. Anti-static powder tool. There's an ice cream truck in front of your house playing Christmas music. You know, I wish there was an ice cream truck in front of my house. I'd send out the unpaid intern to get me some ice cream. We were talking about that the other day. That was the fun thing about my live streams during the summer, is we'd do the live stream and then we'd go for a walk and get ice cream. It feels like a lifetime ago.
could be here sooner than we think.
I know, right?
It's still awfully cold here.
It is still cold, and we still have a ton of snow on the ground. Some of it's starting to melt.
Yep.
Okay. Stamp that with clear embossing ink. And then I'm going to cover that with 222 detail white embossing powder. Top off the excess. Yes, the die set for Mr. Rabbit is exclusive to Simon Says Stamp. The stamp set, anyone who carries, but don't forget that at least until tonight, as far as I'm aware, I have that coupon code that I found. You can get Tim Holtz products for 20% off. Such a nice deal. Melt it up. Just go. There we go. Okay. There's all our sentiments. Boop. All right. Now I can... Oh, I still need to stamp the inside of my card too. Yeah, I'll do that in a second. I can just leave this right here. Do that. Where'd the stamp... It's like, where'd the stamp set go? Okay. Let's put this guy there. 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 And that. So that I do not lose any of those pieces. And then I take a microfiber cloth and just buff away all that excess anti-static powder. Just like so. Good enough. And then I take the coordinating wafer dies. These last, like before I went live, I think that this die set is on sale. The stamp set isn't, but this is a like lower price stamp set because it's small. The die set's like half price, something like that. So just heads up. Anyway, I need not that one. I need that one. Is this the right one? Yes. And that one. Okay. There we go. The dies are sadly the dies are out of stock right now. Apologies on that. I have no control over these things. So I'm not sure when they will be restocking. So yeah. Any of the coordinating wafer die sets for the Tim Holtz stamp sets, the coordinating wafer die sets are exclusive to Simon Says Stamp because they're the ones that did them. And yeah, sadly the one for Mr. Rabbit is sold out. They will restock it. I have no idea when they'll be able to, and I apologize. I had to use him. I got him last year because he came out, was it last year or was it the year before? I can't even remember now. But I'd bought it and it's been sitting here and I haven't had a chance to use it. And then I was like, I'll use it today. And then when I was doing up all the links, I realized this die set was sold out. And I was like, great, of course. Of course. Anyway, okay, so got that. We will die cut our sentiments. Just like so. Do you use fine embossing powder for sentiments? Not really. Like my white embossing powder is, and I have it linked. It's Simon Says Stamps white embossing powder. The listing of it, like the product description, says it's ultra fine. It's not. It's like a regular white embossing powder, and that's what I use. I don't often use like a super fine embossing powder. The only times I'll reach for that, I have a Ranger one that is actually ultra fine. Like Ranger makes a couple of ultra fine powders, and those ones they are unbelievably tiny. And I only use those ones when I am, like, say, heat embossing a sentiment, like, really, really tiny sentiment or something that has really, really thin, delicate lines. Then I'll use an actual ultra fine embossing powder. But the Simon Says stamp, yeah, I think it says it's like on the listing, it says like ultra fine. It's not. It's just what I call a regular embossing powder. But it works. It works great. Okay, let me put these wafer dies back in there. There you go. And then we've got this. Where is I have a card base. Where's my card base? Here's my card base. Okay, I have a 5x7 card base here, which this is going to go on there. Yes. And actually, I'm just going to die cut the scraps with this wafer die. We'll die cut a couple pieces so I can stack those together to build dimension. So we'll run that through. Okay, so we've got one extra layer, and then we'll do it one more time for another layer. Oh, and we still need to add splatter.
Yes, we do.
We need to add splatter. That needs to happen. So I want to add it to the card base before I add the splatter. So we got to do the inside of the card before we do the splatter. Okay, we'll come back to the sentiments. We'll come back to you, Mr. Bunny. To stamp the inside, I need to fold the card inside out. I need to remove my grip mat. I'll just stick my magnet down. And then I need to use, I just need a piece of clear whatever's. Okay, just because there's a good chance, how well did I did not clean this stamp very well at all. I need to clean him better because I want to stamp Mr. Bunny in a light gray ink. So I don't want to pick up a bunch of that ink that I had on there from stamping it with the Nocturne ink. Okay, so there we go. Wipe that off. You can line him up just like that. Okay, line him up. Get that out of there. And then we'll just use Lost Shadow Distress ink. And we'll stamp that onto the inside. Just like so. There we go. Perfection. Look at him. He's definitely an image where you could just do a stack of clean and simple note cards and just stamp him in different colors on it. And then add a sentiment. It would look so cute. Or do them all like vintage, like stamp them all in like browns and things, and they'd look like, yeah, it looks like a tintype. Okay, so I did that. I'm going to get that out of the way because I don't think I need my MISTI anymore because everything else is die cut. So let's put all the things back so that I have a tiny modicum of space to deal with. So we got that. We got that one flower and that. Yeah, love it. Okay. So we will add this guy to the inside of this card. Make sure he's straight. And then we can add the little greenery bit. Like that. And then our little pattern paper flower. Like that. Do you use special wipes? I use just Kirkland. Just wait, I can show the Kirkland from Costco. These ones. Because they're plant-based. They're plant-based, so, you know, and then I can recycle this piece, and I can now recycle the packaging too, because our local recycler now recycles, I mentioned that in a other video, takes all the like little thin plastic packaging now. So yeah, and I like them because they aren't as fibrous, because there are some baby wipes that like just wiping your stamp, like little just fibers are coming off everywhere. Plus the smell. So the amount of baby products they add like ridiculous scents to, gross. And yeah, the Costco ones, I don't think have a scent to them. Yeah, they're fragrance free. There's nothing added, so they don't smell, because nothing like the chemical smell of, I don't know, whatever places want to add to things when they do stupid things like that. Okay, I haven't decided yet whether or not I may add that one. We'll see, but I am going to add this one. Let's add this guy also with Big Mama foam tape so that it will flatten this out a little bit. Okay, so we'll put Big Mama foam tape on the back of this panel. And then just keep rotating. Like so. Never thought about the little bits. Oh yeah, like there's stamp chamois. Like Lawn Fawn makes a stamp chamois. Gina K has one. There might be other brands, and those are really nice. I like them. My issue with them is you have to get them like wet to be able to clean your stamps, and even with the in here, like they dry out on me because I'm in the garage. It's Saskatchewan. Things just, it's not humid. They dry out on me even just like in one session, and I just get annoyed. So that's why I never use them. But they are good. I like them. And there are little like container type thingies. I've tried them and just I keep going back to the Costco wipes. They just work. And I haven't forgotten splatter. Trust me. I wanted to get this adhered first, and then we'll add splatter. Okay, make sure we've got this lined up. Okay, we're gonna get him centered. Just like so. Love it. Trim off all the bits hanging off the edge. A little aggressive there. Okay, and the sentiment we're going to leave off until I've added splatter. Guys, the mess I have going on here, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay. That. Splatter. Okay. Palette. Gouache. Let's do this. Let's add a good healthy dose of splatter to this card. Oh, I'm sorry that you feel it's ruined, Melissa, but I like splatter. So we're just gonna add it. And this will soak into the background, so all the splatter sitting on the background isn't gonna show up as much, and I'm totally okay with that. It'll just add more texture. And you can't go wrong with more texture. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that I'm gonna blast quickly with my heat tool because we're gonna add black splatter to it. I'm gonna do it. And then, okay. So cleaned off my little fan brush, and then I'm going to dry this a little bit. The splatter does dry quite quickly, but since we're live, you know, and I have no patience anyway, I'm just gonna make sure it's dry. And for the most part it is. Okay. So I'm going to stick a piece of scrap paper just so I don't get smears on the back of this, because when I splatter, when anything gets added to the splat box, it like reignites everything on here, and the sludge wants to come through. So we'll protect him, protect the card, and then we'll add a bit of black splatter just to really get people to freak their freak. So anyway, all right, little bit of black wash. Dip that brush in the water. Gotta thin this out a bit, get it to a good consistency. Well, welcome, Joanne. Welcome to the chaos. Yeah. Oh, and I've already got blacks. Yeah, it's all good. Okay. So this I'm a little more conservative with, within reason. Not, you know, a ton. Do. Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. So, just like before, but especially with the black gouache, clean off the brush and then wipe all the things off, because otherwise we are going to have a not good time, because this stuff does get like everywhere. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now, see, I got like black gouache and ink all over me. Carefully lift him off. Look at him, all cute. He's so cute. Okay. So we got that. And then our sentiments, which I left off so that I didn't get splatter all over them, so that they're still legible. So I got to adhere. I'm going to stack these together. Where's my craft tacky glue? There it is. So we'll stack the pieces together that I die cut. And then, oh, I got glue goobers. And then we also need to add some bling, of course, because that's just the rule, you know? So we'll add these layers together so they've got a little bit of dimension, but also just a little extra strength to them. And then I love the black. I know, it's fun. It's fun. It's intimidating. I get that. I laughed so hard when Kathy Zielski texted me. It was like a couple weeks ago. She texted me the picture she had ordered this black gouache, and then she used it in her live on Wednesday. She did good. I was so proud of her. I told her that. I was like, I'm so proud of you, honey. Because yeah, her style is much more clean and simple, which is funny because, and I said it in her live. Kathy Zielski is the one that got me onto using the fan brush. You know, yeah, completely different card styles. She is so good at the clean and simple look, very graphic. Whereas me, I throw everything but the kitchen sink. Okay, so I got that one. Do I want to add that? No, I don't. No, we're not. I don't like the look of it. Okay, so we're just going to add this one. I need to put one little foam square on the back, which I've already lost all my. There it is. I was like, where's my foam squares? Need one. Yes. Okay. Got that. And then we can adhere this. Just like so. Yes. Just like so. And then we need some bling, which I think I linked to both of these in the supplies, didn't I?
I believe so.
I did. What did I do? Yes, Opal and Prism Dazzling Gems. I'll empty my candy dish. Which ones do I want to do? I think I want to do the Opal ones for this. So let's add some gems. You and Kathy need to do a live together. We do. We've talked about it. She's totally up for it. I've never had anyone on my live with me, and I just have to figure out how to do that. It's been hard enough, like, getting my lives to work, you guys, and the tech issues. So but yeah, I think that'd be so much fun. Although I'm concerned that, I'd have Kathy run. Well, no, she knows me. It's all good. But yeah, that's why I sweat during lives. I'm always worried I'm gonna like really put my foot in my mouth. Anywho, while I'm picking out some bling, the unpaid intern can pick a winner.
Oh yeah.
Of this card, and then yeah, we're gonna put just a little bit of bling here and there. Just like we like to do. I went with these opal ones because they're going to be a little more subtle because, we got kind of a lot going on here. So we'll just tuck in a few little bits here and there. Do one like right there. Do one right there. Yeah, let's start there. Doesn't need a lot, really. Just a few. So we'll tuck in. And we'll just pick up the little bits with my embellishment wand. There we go. And then adhere them into place with the dabs of craft tacky glue. Do I want any more? No. Stop it, Amy. Don't need to like completely cover everything. That's enough. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Okay. So we got those. Time to shine, Chris. Oh, funny. There we go. Yeah, the boop dish, I ain't gonna lie. I am most likely gonna use it more to hold snacks. even though it is super cute. I love it. I love it. It's adorable. But yeah, it holds my snacks so nicely. Just like that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, there is our finished card amongst all the chaos. Not bad, really, considering just what a day I've had. I would have got it done faster, but you know, we had a good time chatting about like movies and family. I need to watch the newest Fast and the Furious movie. That one came out like 2 years ago or whenever it was. Anyway, there's our Mr. Rabbit. And there's the inside. Very clean and simple. This was fun. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. And I hope y'all enjoyed the literal chaos I had going on here. I have a disaster going on my desk. This is going to take me a while to clean up now, which is so fun. Love that for me. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then, yeah, I think all of the splatter is technically dry. I can zoom in on him a little bit. Just do that, and then I can switch over to, let's see if this still works. Oh, it does. It does. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Okay, we got a winner.
We do. The winner today is Selena from Peterborough, Ontario.
Selena in Ontario.
Yep.
Okay. And like a disclaimer, like I always say, you know, it might take me a while. I am planning on leaving my house for a bit tomorrow. I am actually planning on going to the post office. I have the previous winners from the live streams are ready to go. I got them addressed and in the envelopes and the postage. I got the postage on. So though all the previous winners of the last month, however long it's been, are ready to go. So I will get this done hopefully this evening, like fill it out and get it all addressed, and then I'll mail it out. Cause yeah, sometimes it takes me a while to get those things done, but I'll get it mailed out. And yeah. Oh yeah, she's in the chat. Yes.
Yay.
That's fun. Hooray. Oh, if I can add, there we go. Yeah. I'll mail it out to you. Hopefully tomorrow, as long as I don't forget. You know, but at the bare minimum, I'm hoping to get everything sent out this week. Because we've been just dealing with 5 million other things. And of course, I've got 5 million things to get done tonight. And yeah, I appreciate those of you that were hanging around through the chaos and me starting an hour later. Hopefully that will not happen again next Sunday, because I try to stick to that. It's the one schedule. It's the one schedule I stick to is 2 p.m. Central on Sundays. Yep. Everything else is chaos, literally. It's chaos on Sundays too, but everything else, I post videos. Once I get them done, I throw them up, you know, load them up. I don't have any other schedules because, trust me, we try. We try. We try not to plan anything anymore, because once that happens, it's just...
It means that bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, bad things are going to happen. It's just karma and craziness. There we go. More than a disembodied hand.
Yeah,
here.
A little bit more today.
See?
I'll just be a blur in the background.
Okay, that works. Better than a poltergeist. I don't want to know. We will not discuss those, because he might pop up again and start causing me chaos. I have enough to deal with. Oh, there's... Okay. Everything looks... What, you have a life other than your lives? I know, right?
Not much of one.
No, really. I'm in here 7 days a week. I work all the time. Hence me putting out regular, like, edited videos. Yeah, I don't get to do many other lives other than my Sunday ones. I try to, but I did one last week. Yeah, I did a bonus live, like, was it Monday? Was that when I did it? I don't remember. Anyway, and the funny thing is I was like so anxious. I'm always anxious. That's just is what it is. But doing that live, like, because it wasn't Sunday, I don't know. I was like I almost threw up. It was ridiculous, but we survived. It was fun.
You get stage fright really easy.
I do get stage fright really easily. It's weird, but that's why. Like, I'm talking to a camera. I'm able to kind of disassociate in a way, and it is what it is. But yeah, the bonus lives, those are always just kind of random, and they're fun. I like chatting with you guys. But my edited content will not go anywhere. That's my main thing. And yeah, I will have several videos coming this week as per usual. That's not going to change. So, yeah, I'm just kind of, if anyone has any final questions, I've got a few minutes before I'll wrap this up officially, because I'm just sort of cleaning up a bit so I don't lose everything. So I can answer a few questions if I missed any. I'm not sure if I did. Where is the die package? This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Okay, those are the coordinating wafer dies for the florals. Do not want to lose any of those. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys enjoy them. Yeah, it's we'll never not wrong. I was like, why is this not? It will never not kind of surprise. I don't know if surprise is the right word, but like, it's just interesting to me, like, that people tune in. I don't know. It's just weird. And those of you that, yeah, literally hung around and waited and were so gracious, I very much appreciate it. It means a lot. So, yeah, I like hanging out with you guys, and I'm glad y'all enjoy the chaos, because the chaos ain't going anywhere. That's just a given. Okay, got my wafer dies. Those ones are contained for that set. Where's Mr. Rabbit's wafer die packaging? Where did it go? Right there. Okay. Don't want to lose any of my wafer dies. Now where's the stamp set? There's the stamp set. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, I appreciate all of you a ton. It's been nice, and just lately, I don't know. I just like all the just comments on my social media, on my regular videos, everything. I really appreciate it. I always try to like heart them so that you guys know that I am physically reading everything. I try to respond as much as I can. It just depends on, I think that's the package for this. It just depends on what's going on. But I read all of them, and I appreciate it. Like, and some of y'all, like, the humor, you guys get my twisted sense of humor. I was going on about that in my last video, just about the splatter, and I was like, I'm fine, everything's fine. All those different things, and yeah, you guys pick up on it. Oh.
What happened?
No, everything's fine. No, I'm trying to read it was a, that's when, some say to use VersaMark to condition stamps. Have you used that? So does it work? And do you clean it off before inking it up? You totally can use VersaMark. That is a decent way. I would, and I have done it. Like, people have noticed, like these stamps, the ones I just did the sentiments in, I inked them up with VersaMark. I didn't clean it. I just stuck them back in the packaging. It's fine. It won't do anything. And yeah, when you use VersaMark on them, how do I explain this? If I was going to use this set, like right now, like these solid images that are, brand new, and I explained that in the beginning of the live, like how you condition your stamps, all the things. If I was going to use these like right now, like in this sitting, if I inked them up with VersaMark, I would probably wipe them off. I would ink them up with VersaMark, maybe wipe them off, and maybe press it down onto some scrap paper a few times, because whether it's VersaMark or like I use, it's basically the same stuff, like Simon's Clair embossing ink. It's same, I would wipe it off because I'd be immediately inking it up, and I wouldn't want to it wouldn't wreck them, but I just wouldn't want to get a bunch of transfer of the VersaMark into my ink pads. I don't think it would cause any real issues, but I would just wipe it off. But yeah, it is totally doable. And if your VersaMark ink pad isn't super juicy, that's why also I would like wipe it off, because mine is pretty juicy, and it literally, like, it's just there. if that makes sense. So, yeah, it totally works though. I get nervous AF, huh? Talking to a group, and now I went to 100% same. I have severe anxiety, and especially like social anxiety. I talked about this in a live. I forget when, a long time ago. When I first started card making, I signed up to one of the very popular MLMs, multi-level marketing, which, but I fell in love with card making like hard. And so I signed up to become a demonstrator. And of course, you know, you have to do little home parties, everything. I loved it so much, I forced myself to stand up and talk in front of human beings, you know, all sitting there in even whether in like strangers, because some of these people I didn't know everything. I can't even explain like the amount of times I nearly threw up in like in front of people because I was just but I forced myself because I loved card making so much. The things I put myself through for ridiculous reasons. But yeah, talking to a camera, it's a totally different feeling, but I understand like that fear of it because I used to feel the same way. Like when video cameras and camcorders started becoming like, you know, everyone had digital cameras before smartphones became a thing. I used to freak out when people would pull out a camcorder. Like the thought of someone filming and me being on film would just no, just no, no. And yeah, my very first YouTube video, it's still on my channel. My if you have to go way back to the very beginning in I posted my first video in 2018 or 29 2008 or 2009. When did I start my YouTube channel again? We were talking about that. I think I started mine in 2008 or 7, something.
Yeah, 2008.
So my first video was back in like 2008, 2009, maybe somewhere. It many years ago. My very first video, I'm not even. I was holding my breath. It's very short. It's like a minute long. I was using a little scallop punch from the same MLM, and I had removed the guide, and I was showing how you could make like a scallop edge with it. It wasn't a scallop punch. It was a corner rounder. Anyway, in that video, I don't say a word. Like I was holding my breath and just like. And now look at me, you know? I don't wear makeup most of the time. My hair is a mess. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So, it's all good. But if you asked me to like stand in front of a group of people in real life and like talk, I'd get over it eventually, but for the first probably 5 minutes, it would be like fight or flight mode. Like I'd be sweating, I'd want to vomit. It wouldn't be pretty. And then I'd get over it and I'd be totally fine. It's just that fear. Um, and thank you, Smiles, a lot. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I volunteered to do canning demos for groups. You usually have 300 in a weekend. Good for you. That's impressive. It's impressive. Yeah. You know, I do these things. I talk to people. It's easier to disassociate. It's like, I see how many people are watching like during the live, and that's like it's just a number. I just kind of like, whatever. But if like all of you were seated here like in person, one, you wouldn't fit. I need a bigger boat. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But anyway, I appreciate you all. I will get the photos. I gotta scrub my hand. What made you leave the MLM? They changed their policies many years ago. They changed their policies and were trying to restrict what we could and couldn't say on the internet, like on my own blog website, which I owned, because I had discovered, you know, other brands, and we weren't allowed to talk about other brands to show them everything else. So I quit. And then they called me because they lost a lot of demonstrators doing that, and they wanted me to come back, and I said no, because you can't tell me what I can and cannot say ever in any aspect. Hello. Um, I share what I want. I do what I want. I do what I want, you know? So that's why. And yeah, I'm all good. So you're so down to earth. Never know you're nervous. Oh, I'm sweating, you guys. Literally, like I am sweating. I do these lives, I enjoy them, you know. I like talking to you guys and sharing stuff in real time and being able to answer questions and stuff, but I sweat. More so not because I'm super nervous anymore, but it's more just that constant fear of me putting my foot in my mouth and like blurting out something I don't know, I have this fear that I'm gonna blurt out something highly offensive to the point like, it will just cancel me. It's true. It's true. So, yeah, is what it is. But oh, yeah, okay, so, I appreciate you all a ton, I really, really do, and I will have the photos of this, like I always I take the photos and I'll put it on my social medias and all the things. And oh, and then last little reminder that I've got that code in the description box that I'm pretty sure ends tonight because it wasn't other like the F bomb. No, I'm more like some I don't know, horrific phrase. I have a really dark sense of humor, y'all. Like really dark sense of humor, really twisted, just is what it is. I swear like a trooper in real life. It very much offends people when I say that, but it's true. I try not to swear in my videos. One, because advertiser friendly. I do this as a job. I don't want to get penalized in that sense. And also because I don't know, I keep it contained. And then once the camera is off and the microphone is off, I can, run around the house dropping F bombs. That's what you should grab.
Hmm.
The F bomb.
Where is that?
It's upstairs. I'll keep this going. I'll get him to show it to you. Oh, and I'll throw that thing around too. I'll show it to you guys in a second. I get nervous talking to a group. Found myself welcome to the chaos for a monthly meeting. I love it. Yeah, because it's true. That's why I tell you guys, welcome to the chaos. It is always chaotic here. I swear like a prior. Yes, I swear it is a stress reliever. And it's scientifically proven. There have been literal like studies done on that and on pain tolerance cuz for those that might not be aware, I used to own my own salon previous life and I was an esthetician. I am like a professionally certified, so I used to do like nail enhancements and hair removal and those sorts of treatments, all those sorts of things. And with hair removal, it's painful, you know? And I used to tell that to my clients. I was like, dude, drop the F bomb. It makes you feel better, because when you are in pain, saying a few swears feels better. So speaking of F bombs, this wasn't this Valentine's you gave this to me? This is my Valentine's Day, one of my Valentine's Day gifts. It's an F bomb.
Yep.
So yeah, when I'm annoyed, I will throw this at the unpaid intern's head. He is abused. He's not paid.
And
But
I get F-bombed a lot.
it's squishy.
Yeah.
It doesn't cause damage. And I try not to throw it at his head because he wears glasses, and I don't want to like hurt someone. But yeah, just my little F bomb, and yeah, I throw that around sometimes too. Only one of my personalities swears like a sailor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think my quasi semi professional self that you guys are interacting with right now doesn't swear like a sailor. And then my other main personality does. I guess that's how we can all define it with me, that you guys are dealing with my sort of professional, because I'm not that professional. We all know it. Self. And then my real self. Yeah, I swear like a trooper. Just it is what it is. And it feels better, okay? So anyway, yeah, there was my little F bomb that I laughed so hard when I got that. I was like, yeah, it works. It works. So, anywho, on that silly little silly note, again, I appreciate you all a ton. I'll see y'all in another video, or you'll hear from me, you know what I mean. And Sundays 2 p.m. Central is the official schedule, and then we'll just see. We just take it a day at a time. I'm an elementary school teacher. I cannot swear, so I have other phrases I use. Exactly, exactly. So you're in situations where you can't. Whether it's because you're around children or just there are places and times where it's just not appropriate. I am someone though that a lot of times I still do it. I can't, I'm in the grocery store and so I stub my toe and yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you all, and I got a million other things to do, so I will talk to you all later. thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!